Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Geek-Stew. Welcome back to Geek-Stew. Oh, man. So, obviously, this is not your typical conspiracy video, as you are always expecting, right? Never expecting the typical with Ike. So, basically, I wanted to do a quick 2022 year in review. And the reason I went and did it early, because I had an idea for a video for next week, but need a little extra time to put together some stuff for that. No big deal. But that being said, I wanted to take time today to do the 2022 year in review. It's been an interesting year. I feel like this year's been pretty exciting for me personally, and you guys have kind of taken that journey with me. I don't know if exciting is what you would call it, but exciting for me nonetheless. Overall, I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate the work that we've done. We've done quite a bit, I feel like, this year to accomplish more content on this channel. And, as always, use this reflection as a way to look forward to the new year. That being said, follow us on social media. All of that is in the description and at the end of the video, as always. Like and subscribe, share, tell your friends. As always, as well, I have a podcast, if you didn't already know. So go ahead and listen to us. That is called Listen to Their Screams. You can actually find us everywhere at Listen, the number 2, and Screams. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Let's get into a year in a review with Ike. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into this. I cleared my throat so that way I didn't sound so squeaky. I was sounding a little squeaky that I lost a bit there. So, I think the first thing I want to start off with is that we kind of started the year not so great. Because last year around this time, I had to take a month off from YouTube, right? As anybody knows, you take a long break like that, it's never good, right? Because people forget. People forget that you're here. So, I had to take a long month off from YouTube. And it obviously wasn't my choice, but basically, I had to take a month off because my dog actually sustained a tail injury, which ended in having his tail amputated. But feel free to check out. I actually made 2 videos. I made a video, I think, at around this time, actually. It was a Ctrl podcast with Salsa Shark, if y'all remember him. So we did a podcast episode where we kind of talked about it. And then I actually made a whole standalone video explaining everything that happened with my dog and everything else. Kind of a really traumatic thing, and I mean traumatic for him, but traumatic for me too. But I have 2 videos about that. Feel free to check those out. And also, all the videos that I talk about in this year in review will be linked in the description down below. So the description is going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be like 100 sentences long. But after that, rocky start. We actually covered a couple theories that I really enjoyed, and actually a pretty successful video as far as I'm concerned. We covered 2 theories called, one was the Singularity already happened, and then the Sabinche Tomatovic tapes. This is actually one of my first, if not my first, ad suitability issues. So if you don't know, the Sabinche Tomatovic tape is a rumored tape of a adult film actress who was assaulted by like a spider demon or something like that.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Check the video out. I know that sounds batshit crazy. But there's supposedly a tape. So I guess I understand why it got ad suitability taken a little bit. For my first yellow flag, if you will. If you make videos on YouTube, you might know what that means. But basically, some ad people don't want to put ads on videos that talk about certain things. And I must have had some trigger word to trigger that issue. So regardless, that was cool. I never had that before. So I took it in stride, obviously. Speaking of ad suitability flags, I actually got another one for a video I did in February, where I talked about the disappearance of Calico. This is honestly a really good one. I put a lot of work into the Calico video. Just a lot of work, honestly. I'm not going to lie. A lot of legwork went into that, a lot of research. And I was actually kind of taken aback by that, just because I talked about, like, for instance, the Black Dahlia murders, and that one didn't get ad suitability, but the Calico one did. But here's the thing. Out of all the videos to flag, why flag the one talking about a conspiracy that's almost 100% true about a real-life disappearance? You know what I mean? I don't want to say conspiracy confirmed, but anyways, another notable video from this year was when I actually revisited God's ego death. I first covered this theory, I think last year or maybe even in 2020, honestly. This was one of my first big videos, God's Ego Death and God's Last Wish, both of which kind of exploded for me. Honestly, I credit those for being probably the two videos that really got me to where I am in terms of subscribers. But I was definitely flying by the seat of my pants in that original video, so I wanted to go back and attempt to cover it better, which I think I did a pretty good job. Honestly, years from now, I'll probably be thinking about that. But, and I may do that with some other theories this year, maybe go back and try and cover some theories that maybe I didn't have a full understanding of, and maybe I want to go back and touch up on. Who knows? Maybe that's something I'll do this year. But that being said, now we're kind of into like the April-May timeframe. We're getting to the middle of the year. And this is when I moved. So my last video in my old apartment, I went back and started watching these, but my last video went up on April 29th, 2022 is when I covered the CIA of Mars astral projection. I love doing that video. I've never in my life read a more batshit insane CIA document, and I've read some really crazy shit, but specifically the CIA Mars astral projection experiments and the related documents that are legitimately declassified documents from the government. They both make me laugh and just absolutely wonder what the fuck's going on. But I covered that before. I actually recorded it a couple weeks before. I recorded a bunch of stuff before I moved, and then I still ended up not having a video one week. But it was pre-recorded. I had already moved at that point, but I was doing all that. But then I actually did a move update, and then I also did one of my most popular videos to date, which was when I covered Kelly Ronahan. So if you don't know who Kelly Ronahan is, watch the video. I didn't post any of the pictures about Kelly Ronahan because, as you'll see in the video, some really fucked up stuff happens, and I didn't want to get demonetized completely from YouTube. I definitely feel like I would get a strike for that one. But that was one of my more controversial topics. I got a lot of pushback from certain people on that video, which is no big deal. I respect it. But it was about a very real and alive person as far as I know, and they have very real and horrible struggles. So, throughout the rest of the year, I dabbled in many other things. And I tried to kind of dip my feet in the water, and I made a video last week about the state of conspiracies. And honestly, I've been having these issues, this confliction, this contradiction about whether or not I want to continue talking conspiracies for a long time. At least 6 months to a year, if not more. And I kind of pushed it in the back of my mind, and I kind of was like, eh. But eventually it got to the point where I had to talk about it. That's why I talked about it last week. But I did try and cover other things. I tried to kind of go back and cover my old roots, For instance, I tried true crime. I talked about the Black Dahlia murder. That was interesting. It was a 3-part thing. I had to take a whole week just to do the research, and I put up like a small video saying, hey, I'm still working on this. And then it turned into a 2-part video. And then in addition to that, I went on a cruise in August, so I tried to dabble in the vlogging, the lifestyle vlogging. Those actually got some good traction, I won't lie. I just chronicled my adventure, talked about food. It was a lot of fun. I'm actually going on another cruise in January. I don't know if I'll film anything from that, but that'd be cool. And then also I talked about a couple of very important horror movies this year. Important horror movies for me, Terrifier 2 and Halloween Ends. Both of which are great videos if you haven't checked them out. I used to do a lot of horror content, honestly, but I had to kind of forego doing horror content in order to do the conspiracy theory content because you can't do both all the time. So I was like, I'm going to do mostly conspiracies, but trickle in some horror content. But I do more horror content on my podcast, Listen to Their Screams. Find us at Listen, the number 2, Screams. Anyways, and then after that, honestly, I just kind of fizzled out. I'm not going to lie. It was like a candle that was losing wax, and I kind of fizzled out for the rest of the year. I covered some small topics here and there, some random conspiracy theories, just to kind of get me through. And I definitely felt like I was struggling to just come up with ideas of videos to make. And then, boom, fizzled. So as many of you may be able to tell, the end of the year was definitely sort of meh. I had a couple of ideas. I had a couple of breaks. Ranted a little bit, and then here we are. So, I don't know what the future of this channel is going to be. I'm not totally sure if I'll continue to do this forever, or what I'm going to do forever, or what I'm going to do on this channel next month even, or even next week. I have an idea, I think, that I want to try and execute, but we'll see. We are in the season of change. You know, that's one of the things about winter and moving into fall is that a lot of people, obviously, this is a very sentimental time of year. People like to get in their feels, and I do too, you know what I mean? And honestly, thinking and sitting and reflecting, you know, there's a lot of stuff I want to do in life, and I don't want to work forever. So I want to do more on this channel, and I want to be more successful, so I'm trying to find a way to do that. But anyways, the whole conspiracy thing, you know, I do like conspiracy theories, so maybe I'll keep making videos. Who knows? What did I say? Who knows? But, you know, but consider this my final thoughts. Consider this my La Resistance for the year. I'm thinking about doing a video next week. I have a couple things in mind. I'm still debating if I wanted to do a video next week or if I want to take a break and start in January. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, I hope you guys continue to hang around with this. It's obviously been a very interesting year. A lot of stuff has changed in the last 12 months, but I hope you'll stick around. That being said, I want to say here's to the year we had, and here's to the year that we're going to have. I hope you all are well, and I also hope you have a safe and wonderful holiday, however you decide to celebrate. I will see you in the next week or in the new year, who knows? But with that all being said, much love to you all. Obviously, be safe, be happy, be healthy, be awesome to one another. Happy holidays. See you in the next one. See ya.